A few days ago, I did this post out of Alabama. A breastfeeding mom was called up for jury duty. She sent in the appropriate form. She said that she was trying to get exempted from jury duty because she had a newborn and she was breastfeeding, but they still made her come in. And instead of just excusing her when she got there, her and the baby, the 3-month old, they berated her. This was a story that was apparently going viral. There was a follow up just a day or two later. According to the court, nursing mothers exempt from jury duty after outcry over Jefferson County controversy. Social media works. Social media pressure works. This woman posted on Facebook and she started going viral because of it. Because who would make a nursing mother stay there? So let's get into the update. So this is from the AL.com website. It says Alabama judges will be required to have written procedures in place to excuse nursing mothers from jury service under an order issued days after a Jefferson County mother says she was threatened by a judge when she reported to jury duty with her breastfed child. The Alabama Supreme Court on Friday issued the unanimous administrative order stating that a nursing mother of an infant child clearly qualifies for the excuse from jury service under state judicial code. The code states a person may apply to be excused from jury service by the court only upon a showing of undue or extreme physical hardship. The definition of hardship includes circumstances in which an individual would be required to abandon a person under his or her care or supervision due to the impossibility of obtaining an appropriate caregiver during the period of participation in the jury pool or on the jury. The court states that it was created after the court was made aware of situations in Jefferson County, referring to several Alabama mothers who claimed they were harassed and threatened by Jefferson County judges for bringing breastfeeding babies with them for jury duty. Candace Brown, who says she was threatened with DHR for bringing her 3-month-old daughter with her to jury duty, told AL.com that she called and turned in forms to be excused prior to reporting to the courthouse, but was refused. This occurrence should be prevented under the new order. All presiding circuit judges of this state shall ensure that appropriate procedures are in place for a prospective juror claiming an undue or extreme physical or financial hardship to be able to contact their courts and receive prompt responses from their courts before the prospective juror summoned date and without the necessity of appearing in person to apply to be excused from jury service, it reads. Within 30 days of the order, all presiding circuit judges in Alabama are required to provide a written report to the administrative director of courts, addressing their respective procedures for complying with this order, the document states. Brown says she is overwhelmingly thankful to God for his people for the change. I never imagined a single Facebook post would lead to a change in law just 4 days later. Brown initially posted about her experience on January 13th. The story gained national attention, and other local mothers came forward with their own stories about similar issues in Jefferson County Court. And that's why I said in the very beginning, social media does change things, because how are you going to live in a forced birther or pro-life state, but be so antagonistic towards mothers attempting to breastfeed their children from women judges? Oh my gosh, that has to be embarrassing. In a post this morning, Brown also thanked Alabama Representative Susan Du Bois and April Weaver, who started working this week on legislation that would exempt nursing mothers from jury duty for up to 2 years. She also thanked State Auditor Andrew Sorrell, who sponsored legislation that would have established this law 2 years ago. I just pray judges and court officials will no longer intimidate or berate mothers who have no child care and have no other choice who bring their children to jury duty, Brown wrote. Breastfeeding moms are protected now. I pray the other moms are protected too. I pray the hearts of the judges are softened and they can discern better for mothers that are just trying to care for their children. Brown has also claimed Jefferson County Circuit Court Judge Shantae Owens threatened to call DHR on her. She added that Circuit Court Judges Elizabeth French and Marshall Jackson Hatcher also addressed the group. Judges French and Hatcher have not commented on the situation. Owens, in a statement to AL.com on Wednesday, said Brown was excused and called the situation a misunderstanding. Owens added that under state law, there are well-established mechanisms in place to excuse individuals from jury duty prior to service. I take these procedures seriously to ensure that the jury selection process runs lawfully, smoothly, and efficiently. If any additional laws are enacted regarding jury service or any other matter, I would be delighted to follow those laws as well, Owens wrote. So there you have it. She gives a very PR sounding statement. Does not sound like there was an apology or anything for their behavior. And like I said before, it is terrible that other women could do that to some nursing mothers. That's a mess. To threaten to call DHR and when other women were commenting in the Facebook post, they were saying that people were like, why don't you just get some childcare? As if you can just drop off kids for a few days, like at a random childcare. These people are so freaking out of touch. Some of the comments on one of my posts said that sometimes the women working in these typically male-dominated professions tend to act more hard-nosed towards women because they have to play the game. And that's a mess. I would imagine that women would have more empathy for another mother. Now we have another case of these people making things tougher for new moms than it even needs to be. House conservative defies MAGA Mike Johnson over remote voting for new moms in Congress. Super MAGA GOP Representative Anna Paulina Luna repeatedly tried to convince MAGA Mike Johnson that he, as a pro-family champion, should back her push to allow new mothers to vote remotely for 6 weeks while they are recovering from birth. He refused. Then she turned to Democrats. The House Freedom Caucus member, who is super MAGA, is now teaming up with a group of House Democrats backed by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on a measure that would give even more flexibility to new parents, a full 12 weeks for remote voting for mothers as well as fathers. She and her lead partner on the Democratic side, a very pregnant Representative Brittany Pedersen, plan to soon force the measure to the floor using a discharge petition, which is a highly unusual step for a member to take against their own leadership. And they believe it'll pass, since only a handful of Republicans would need to join Democrats to support it. I don't think that it's right for the leadership, especially Republican leadership, that prides itself on being pro-family, to be so anti-family. I believe it. A defiant Luna told CNN. And really, it's a slap in the face to every single constituent that we've had that sent us to Washington, D.C. This new push for remote voting, led by a conservative Republican, reflects a younger generation of members of Congress eager to modernize the institution, as well as the intense pressure on every House member to be physically present at a time when every vote matters. In a historically thin House majority, lawmakers who are unable to vote for an array of unavoidable reasons, including birth of a child, a chemotherapy treatment, or the death of a spouse, can be the deciding factor in a bill's success. And that's the same tight House math that empowers individual members like Luna to buck her own party leadership and work with the Democrats. Johnson told CNN in a brief interview that the practice of proxy voting, even for new moms unable to travel, is unconstitutional. And the speaker, who spent decades in constitutional law before coming to Congress, had made that argument personally in a brief file to the Supreme Court. It's unfortunate. I have great sympathy and empathy for all our young women legislators who are of birthing age. It's a real quandary, Johnson told CNN, but I'm afraid it doesn't fit with the language of the Constitution, and that's the inescapable truth that we have. Luna, for her part, calls that a cop-out response. So there you have it. I think that working with Democrats is going to be something that has to happen because, like they said, the margins are razor thin, and there is a lot of infighting within highly MAGA people, lightly MAGA people, and normal thinking Republicans. So it's going to be an interesting next few years. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share.